Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, this is Dragonite, and this may come as a surprise to some people, it sure came as a surprise to me, but the beta for GameMaker Studio 2 has opened today. I wasn't really expecting this to come until maybe January of 2017, or spring of 2017, but nevertheless, here it goes. Now, unfortunately, probably by the time I publish this video, the beta is going to be closed. Fortunately, I got here in time, and I'm going to be downloading and installing GameMaker Studio 2 and seeing what I think of it. I have looked at some screenshots for GameMaker Studio 2 that YoYo has been leaking over the last month or so, but I haven't looked too closely at them. This is largely going to be my first impression of the software. All I really do know is that it's going to be supposedly rather different from GameMaker Studio 1. I know a lot of people are hoping for a better room editor, and I'm wondering if YoYo is finally going to deliver on that, among other things. So it looks like I accidentally downloaded 2 copies of the GMS2 installer, so let me just run one of these. And this is the fancy GameMaker Studio 2 launch. This is a legal license agreement. I'm actually going to read this through and through later on because I kind of do that, but for now I'll go back to that later. Installing. I don't really think you need to see me install this. Oh look, the YYP is now the new file extension for GameMaker Studio 2 project files. Interesting. Anyway, let's do that. Alright, so let's launch this. I'm going to need to log into my YoYo account. Okay, I don't really think that's something that any of you needed to see. Let's see, getting started video. No, I'd rather this be a surprise, although I probably will watch this when I'm finished recording this. Let's see, on that note, cool. Learn Marketplace Support Community. I think they had this on GameMaker Studio 1. Yeah, I may make more videos on this, like my first impressions of GameMaker Studio 2, the beta. Depending how much of it there is, depending on how much of it I feel like doing, I don't really want to make an hour-long video on this. I'd rather limit it to about a half an hour. And also, like, if people are interested to see this, because I imagine that people are, because it's, like, fancy and new in software and stuff. Let's see, it still has to install some things, it looks like. Excellent. Alright, so it looks like there's a little bit of, like, HTML errors here. First, let's see, this says, new project. I'm going to hit new project. I'd rather not use D&D, although supposedly D&D has been overhauled, if I was reading the blog post correctly earlier today, so I'm going to go and mess around with this first. If you know me, you know that I really like to mess around with code. But first, let's see, let's go with save as, I don't know, messing around dot whatever the extension is, YYP or something. So this is very different from GameMaker Studio 1. This is a workspace, as opposed to the default. I don't have GameMaker Studio 1 open right now, but it's definitely different, take my word for that. So they still have rooms, objects, timelines, fonts, shaders, scripts, paths, sounds, tile sets as opposed to just backgrounds, and sprites. Wait a minute, I don't even see a backgrounds option here. Interesting. Well, notes, is this just for like scratch paper? That's cool. Options, configurations. You know what, let's go around with the options first. Platform settings. Oh, cool. Okay, so this is like the, I'm going to open up GMS1 just for comparison real quick. If you'll give me a moment. I know I've been doing a lot of jump cuts today. You'll have to excuse me. Alright, so GMS1 is opened. I'm just going to quickly go and look at the global game settings. This is Windows. It looks similar. I saw a lot of, can I make this like a small window? Shrink this down, do a side-by-side. Alright, yeah, this does look similar. There's the display name, there's the information, there's the version history and all that. Use local app data versus regular app data. Graphics, images. I think this is the, like apparently the splash screen and the icon that would pop up in the corner of the window and on the taskbar down here. And the installer, which I don't really feel like messing around with. Let's see, so GMS2 does not like being in windowed mode, it seems, because it wasn't letting me, oh, there it goes. For whatever reason, it wasn't letting me drag this around a minute ago, but never mind. Let's see, I don't think, did I do anything here? Main options, general, whatever? Yeah, let's, I don't know if I should really redact this out too. Let's go and close that. Wait a minute. Is this not a room property anymore? Frames per second? 60, people like their 60 FPS games. Let's see, if I open this, let's see, so I can scroll up and down, I can scroll, can I scroll? I can scroll in and out. I can scroll left and right, and I can just drag it around by hitting the middle mouse wheel and moving the mouse around. See, that's cool. Let's see, what else is there when it comes to, why is this, okay, so this is actually not completely on my screen. We need to fix that. As I was saying, something about, let's see, room views, room physics. I like the way this looks so far. I obviously have not messed around with it a whole lot. It looks a little bit neater than the room editor in GMS1. I unfortunately kind of don't really have very much by way of rooms in this project, because everything is spawned from one object, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I don't see anything on like room speed or anything. I just see it looks like they made the like game speed global property instead of a room property, which is cool. I know people have been asking for that for a while. I'm interested to see how like the step event and draw events are handled now too. Anyway, what else? I should probably create an object. Can I create an object? Let's see, create object. And this is different. This is, let's see, I'm gonna call this, I don't know, player or something. I'm just gonna make a dot that moves around when you hit the arrow keys or something like that. Sprite, let's make a sprite. Create sprite, and I'm just going to, I don't know, draw an awesome face or something. How does the like drawing editor thing work in this game? I'm actually going to prefix my sprites with SPR underscore, and not my object, because that's the code style I am used to. Let's see, edit image. Can I zoom out? I can zoom out. Fantastic. What's the awesome face look like? It looks something like this, right? All right, this is different. I feel like they're trying to make this more like of a natural feeling. It's definitely going to take some getting used to. I'm not going to say that I dislike it quite yet. Let's see. There's the head, and let's switch back to this. And there's the eye, and there's the mouth. So you have a little fancy MS Paint awesome face. Actually, this is like worse than MS Paint. But how do I close this? Because I don't really need it anymore. What is this? Play animation? Oh, cool. I'm going to have to mess around with animations. I'm not much of an animator, but I feel like I heard something about like revamped animation systems in GMS2, and I do want to mess around with that, see what it looks like. Let's see, I can set the sprite origin. I might as well set it to, can I like center it? Middle center? There we go. There's the animation speed. Oh, cool. The animation speed is defined in the sprite instead of in the object now, with image speed. I feel like there should be a checkbox saying, like, I'm done with this, close the editor, instead of just the X button here. I don't know, does this autosave? It looked like that autosaved, closing that thing. Anyway, let's go back to, I don't know what it's doing up here. Can I please? Oh, there we go. Again, with hitting the middle mouse button, the mouse wheel, and moving your mouse around to like click and drag. Let's see, the sprite is going to be, nope, not that. The sprite is going to be that guy. Collision mask is same as sprite. Can I set the sprite's collision mask to be like not precise? Collision mask. Okay, so it has, how do I edit the collision mask? It doesn't, I don't see an option for editing it. Oh, here it is. There we go. Rectangle, fast. Oh, cool. Yeah, ellipse is slow, diamond is slow, because I have to do math to figure out if there's a collision. I'm just going to do rectangle, because that's basically the bounding box. There was an interesting blog post on the YoYo blog a while ago about exactly why the default collision system in GameMaker is so slow. Alpha tolerance. So cool. Alright, that's an interesting option. That's still really just editing the rectangle of the collision mask, which I don't feel like doing right now. But it's cool that that's an option. Let's see. As I was saying, there is visible, solid. I'm not going to do solid. Persistent. I'm not going to mess with persistent. Use physics. I'm not going to mess with physics. I've never even messed with physics in GMS1. I'm not making like a Little Big Planet or anything like that. Events. This is cool. This reminds me of, if anybody remembers the talk tree video I did a while ago. I'm sure other like nodal editors look like this too, but since that's the only one I've really used, of course I'm going to say that reminds me of it. There is a destroy and clean up event. I wonder what the difference is. I'm going to have to look at that on my own time. Step event, alarms, draw. I think these are the same draw events as GMS1. Mouse events, those have been there forever. Key down, key pressed, key up, collision with player, other things like outside room, game start, game end, room start, room end, animation end, what have you. Asynchronous events, I hate asynchronous events. I am sorry. Anyway, so I'm gonna say create. Can I actually execute code here? I see there's a scripts option. I know I selected a D&D project at the beginning, but can I actually execute code here? I see that there are no more tabs. There are instead these, I don't know what you call these like open, expand, collapse things here. There's drawing, tiles. What can you do with tiles? Set tile like pixel, cool. Not sure how fast that's going to be because the point of tiles is that they're kind of fire and forget, but it's cool that they let you do that. I think they let you mess around with tiles in like in real time in GMS1 and GameMaker 8 and stuff like that. I just never really did it. I never really felt the need to. There's audio functions, which is cool. Loops. These are control flow, switch structures, data structures. Oh, cool. There's D&D for data structures now. I believe that used to just be code only. If I can full screen this, I'm just going to open up a random object. Yeah, I believe data structures used to just be code only. Buffers also used to be code only. So there's like everything here. Types. Oh, typecasting even. That's nice. Get a random number. That's all they have in mathematics. They don't have like floor value or anything like that. I guess you could probably type that into like variable controls. Like set a variable to like a random number or what else am I thinking of? Like sines and cosines and what have you. Paths, timelines, rooms, game, instance variables. That's nice. So can I set score to, wait a minute, do objects have individual scores now? Or is this a global score? Because this says instance variables. Because that would be interesting, because I know that, like, the score and health and live system built into GameMaker 1 and GameMaker 8 and GameMaker Studio and whatever really was kind of terrible. If they let you have different scores and different health and whatever for different objects, that'll be really cool, because you won't have to do that on your own anymore. Can I say, like, sign of like a random number? Can I do that? Oh, cool. I see that it was like highlighted in red a minute ago before I'd finished typing it out. Why can I not drag this around? That's kind of annoying. All right. Well, let's see. I see they have the relative, which is like the plus equals as opposed to equals. Yeah, all right. So let's do a set score, and I think that'll be it. Show debug message, show window state. What's this? Oh, it's like full screen versus windowed mode. Okay, particles. Particles are fun, especially in 3D where you have to basically make your own particle systems. But we won't talk about that right now. I think I see they have a search bar too, which is convenient. I'm just going to end with that, and next I'm going to go and waffle. I should probably not mess with the Discord as I'm recording videos because I'm very professional. Anyway, let's see. Step event, draw event. I want to draw the score. I did not find anything execute code. Oh, there is execute code. I just didn't see it. That's cool. Let's add this to favorites because we all know how much I'm going to be using that. Why is nothing showing up under favorites? All right, now it is. Execute code, draw, text. I don't know, like 32, and what is it? Score. I don't think I have to cast that to string if I'm not concatenating it. At least I didn't have to in previous versions of GameMaker. I don't know if that's changed. Let's see. That looks like everything. I should probably also draw self. And let's see. It looks like this is like the highlighted red color when there's a syntax error, but I don't see any syntax error in here. Anyway, let's close out of this. I can, wait a minute, I just deleted that. Alright, I want to hit this X button. You saw nothing. Let's see, now let's go back to the room editor. And how do I drag and drop an instance, rather? Let's see. Creation code, instance creation order, sorry. Oh, look, there's a bunch of like tabs here. Create new folder, asset layer, path layer, tile layer. Where's instances? This is like, what? How do I, oh, instances. Can I, like, not lock that? That's unlocked. Where do I go in instance layers? Interesting. Let's get rid of this, because I didn't want that. I want to just throw an instance down. I feel like that should be easier to find than it is. Oh look, there's a tab, instances. Can I like add one from here, please? I'm asking nicely. This is just gonna collapse that. That's not what I'm looking for. Oh look, you can delete selected layers. That's cool without having to right click it or whatever. Where are instances? This is properties. Come on. This is embarrassing. Do I have to like select something from the resource tree over here and just click? I feel like this would be way less complicated than I'm making it out to be. Oh, cool. I didn't notice this earlier, but I assume that like I can open up a bunch of stuff here in this this workspace 1, and then I can say open up workspace 2 and open up a bunch of stuff here, and like I can switch between them real easily. Can I rename this? No, I can't rename this. At least not right now. This is still in beta. Hopefully, that seems like something they should add if I'm understanding this correctly. The ability to rename your workspaces, because that would be nice. For that matter, how do you rename rooms? Is there persistent? I don't see like a room name option here. I guess I can probably right click this. Yeah, rename. We're gonna name that thing. Let's see. Come on, where do I add instances from? This is ridiculous. Depth, inherit. YoYo, if you're watching this, please make it more obvious where you add instances to. Alright, F1. F1 still works, doesn't it? Oh, come on. Allow access. Screw you too. Let's see, where's the room editor? Editors, rooms. No, I did not want to reload that. Editors, rooms. Control F. I can place instances. I can just place sprites on their own. Interesting. Alright, really though, how do I add them? I don't see any buttons up here or anything. Search add instance? Oh, cool. Inheritance. Perhaps the most important feature of the room editor is inheritance. I know what that means, although this sounds like it's a little bit different from inheritance in GMS1 that I'm used to. The child room is essentially a clone of the parent. Okay, so is that like you can have a submap, like you enter a house, and go to a different room? It's going to have the same default properties. It's going to have the same properties, like the same music and background and whatever, as the like the outside map. And if you change the outside map properties, it's going to change the inside map properties. That's kind of cool. That's what it sounds like. But it extends beyond that. It goes to if you add instances. But that's great. But how do I actually add instances? Main layers, assets, instances. Come on, guys. You don't even have it like easy to find in the manual. Or inheritance. I don't care about that right now. Instance layer? I can add a new instance layer by clicking the button, but it doesn't say anything about adding instances. Guys. Seriously. YoYo, I hope you're watching this. I have been using GameMaker since like 2010. I should be able to do this. I have 1,500 hours on Steam and God knows how many hours on GameMaker 8. I can add an instance to a layer by opening up the resource tree and dragging objects from there into the room. Why is it not more intuitive than that? I can double click on the instance either in the room editor itself or in the properties list and it will open a window to let me... Alright, I don't care about that. Come on. Thank you! Alright. Now that I actually have a thing in the room, let's run this. I don't care about animations. Let's see, is this build, run, debug, and clean? So that's, I take it that's what these buttons up here are for, although they're not color-coded. Oh, cool, they have the compile form. This is taking a little while for a game that's, Alright, Waffle, I'm recording a video. This is a bad time. The score has been set to 0. Alright. I feel like that's not what I told it to do, right? Create. Set score to d-sign random of 360. Can I, let me just quickly execute code. I want this to go before. Thank you. I want it to reset the random seed, just in case. And does dSign not work the same way that I think it should be? Because that should basically just be a sine function in degrees. Alright, so what happens if I try set the score to like 500, a constant value? Alright, that's still not working. Alright, I have no idea why that's not working. Can I do it through code, please? I didn't really want to do drag and drop or anything. I just wanted to see what it looks like. The new drag and drop interface. I take it if I would have selected the like GML project, there would be no drag and drop, and I would just be able to type code. I'm probably going to make a like an impressions video on that too later. Okay, so that said the score. I don't know why the drag and drop action wasn't, but anyway, I feel obligated to have like a step event that lets you move the awesome face around. Also, why is shouldn't it be drawing itself? Did I not say draw self? Come on, draw self. Alright, that's drawing itself. That's horrible. Anyway, GameMaker Studio 2, it looks very different. I don't immediately disapprove or anything, although it's going to take a really long time to get used to. I'm probably going to make more videos on what I think of this, on what I think of GMS2, at least the beta, because it looks like there's a lot of stuff in here that wasn't in GMS1 that I want to mess around with and see what I think about. Anyone who's watching this, if you're participating in the beta as well, let me know what you think. YoYo, if you're watching this, please make it a little bit more clear how you're supposed to add instances to the rooms. At least, like, have a note here, like mouse over text or something on the layers properties or something like that. Seriously, that is nothing like how it worked in previous versions of GameMaker. But anyway, my name is Dragonite. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.